Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm bringing you P1RC Concept Toyotas tonight. So these races have been pretty fiery. It's short tracks, feisty little cars. That's always good action. So they have just changed the settings. Fine weather. Still in practice mode at the minute. Let's just have a look who's in the room. Rear Wheel 72, Tatey Lives, Pilgrim Paddy, Stewie Mac, myself, Baggy Snails, Fizz Ruckus, so new member of P1, just joined the other day or today. I think this is his first race with the guys. So we'll keep an eye on Fizz Ruckus. Stewie Mac 64, evening my friend, Potter McPot, how you doing buddy? Steve Scooby 555, Mocking Weeks, Don Dotter and Dory. Welcome everyone. So this is round 9, as I say, from Kyoto driving park. This is the Miyabi layout, as you can see on the screen there. It is quite small. It will mean a lot of action on track, as there's nowhere to go really. As you can see there, half the track already covered in cars. So we will just jump on board with a couple of guys. Let's stick ourselves on board with, where's he gone? Potter McPot. So a good friend of mine, Potter McPot. Races in a few different leagues, a few different sim racing groups. This being one of them. So I was going to look for stats, not stats, what am I talking about? Standings. I don't know if they've been posted or whether I've just not been paying attention. So that's that. That's the Nissans. So no, I don't think the standings have been posted for the Toyotas. I also don't have a track map for this place either. No track map. So flick up to Dory at the front then. He's currently on a 38.4. Oh, he's just been done by Big Les Kunno. 38.4 as well. 0.041 of a second in it between Dory and Big Les Kun. Oh no, now Steve Scooby's chucked himself in between those two now. Also with the 38.4. So yeah, you will see some good wheel-to-wheel, bumper-to-bumper action throughout this race. So we've got half an hour quali, and then we're into the main event. So Rear Wheel 72 now plopped himself onto P1 of the grid. He's got a 38.3. Get on board. Oh no, someone said you can't get on board in these cars, is that right? Because they're concepts, I don't think they've done an interior, possibly. So remind me not to try that again. Mocking Weeks now put himself up into first. He's got a 38.2. We'll see these times come down as the guys get used to the track. They will burn off a fair chunk of fuel as well throughout the course of this qualifying session, and then they'll jump into the pits for a fresh set of tyres. Mocking Weeks just running wide there, try and beat their lap times with less weight in the car. So I do like this course, Miyabi. I like the whole Kyoto driving park. One way I like better than other, but it's a good racetrack either way. So there is another half a section to this which you can't see at the minute because it's not part of tonight's race. But you can drive them individually or linked together. So let's just work our way through and have a look at lap times then. So Mocking Weeks on the 38.2. Big Les Kun just off track. He's got a 38.2 as well, but down in second place. Rear wheel 72 then, he's down into third now. 38.3 for rear wheel. Dory just coming out of the pits. 38.4 for him. Again, just boys being respectful, just staying out of the way while people are putting hot laps in. Steve Scooby's, did I read out Dory's? 38.4 for Dory. Steve Scooby then. 38.4 for him at the minute. I'm not sure, I just saw a little purple thing pop up next to his name. So yeah, Steve Scooby then, I thought I saw that. Up into first spot at the minute with a 38.1 then. So down to Potter and Pot, 38.5 for Potter. Don Dotter, 38.5 as well for Don. Bags, he's on a 38.7. Stewie Mac, a 38.8. Fizz Ruckus, he's on a 39.7. Tatey Lives on a 39.9. Pilgrim Paddy on a 40.7. So 12 guys racing tonight. Oh, West Ham Daz is just drawing the room, so that will be 13. Racing can watch. Just figure this out. So Steve Scooby's been pushed down into third then almost immediately by Dory and Big Les Kun. So let's just flick up to Big Les. 37.8 then for Big Les. Pushed back by mockingweeks. Dory on that 37.9. So mockingweeks then, was he on 37.7. So those times tumbling then. As you see, mockingweeks is back out of the pits on a fresh set of racing super soft. He's burnt half, quarter of a tank of fuel. And straight away bettered his lap time, 37.7 then for Mocking. Still holding that second. Still holding third, rear wheel in fourth. Steve Scooby in fifth. I just did see someone go spearing off into the distance a second ago. Dotter just decided to steer into the wall by the look of it. Unfortunately, it won't flick to the next car on track, it flicks to the next person on the grid, so I'm struggling to catch the guys who are firing themselves into the wall. Paddy just recovering from a bit of an incident. West Ham Daz in the room now. So I think it was Daz I just saw spearing himself off the track. Put a hot lap in then West Ham does. So mockingweeks still on that 37.7. Just pop this link in the group. Blamo and Blamo. Right, that's that. So rear wheel 72 now in the pits. Doing a lot. Steve Scooby then currently holding fifth. Did have himself up in top spots a few laps ago, but got pushed back to fifth by the guys in front of him. Bettered his time, 38.3 then for Potter. 6th place for him at the minute. He's got Big Les Kun. Just, I don't know if Potter's staying out of the way or whether he's just been compromised a little bit, but either way, still plenty of time left. Evening, CJ, how you doing, mate? I did watch the end of the race. It was pretty good. So let's see if what's this West Ham Daz. Let's see if he's got a hot lap in. 58.8 then for West Ham Daz. Driftotronic in around in the Toyota. Oh, well, at least it's not Stewie Mac this time. It's West Ham Daz for a change. Pilgrim Paddy then down on a 40.1. Managing to better that time. Tatey lives at 39.7. Fizz Ruckus at 39.1. So I did watch this guy a little bit in the practice lobby earlier. It didn't look too bad. A new driver for P1 tonight. You'll have to think about going in and changing those tyres though, buddy. Awesome. I don't know what you thought about the pro lobby. Wasn't pretty from my point of view. Wasn't dirty, but it wasn't pretty. So Mocking Weeks then, he's back in the pits, but not doing anything. Big Les Kun then just hanging out off the side of the track, allowing the guys to come through on their hot laps. Most of these guys are in a chat lobby together, so they can talk to each other when they're going around the track, telling people to get out of the way or whatever. So Baggy Snails then putting in another Stormer, third place for Baggy at the minute, but I was looking at the wrong time, but then 37.8 then for Baggy, squeezed himself into third. He does appear to be coming out of nowhere with his results, old Baggy. We're not sure whether he's been eating kryptonite or something, because everyone in the group seems a little bit not worried but astounded that he's been getting the results he's been getting. Yeah, Big Les, he's a fast driver, mate. I had a bit of a rip round the other night with him in the rally cars, Ford Focus rally cars with the P1 boys. Yeah, it was good fun. It's about 8 or 9 of us on track, all ripping around the little Ford Focus, sideways action, bumping into each other. It was great. But yeah, some clean racing all the same. The boys from P1 are a clean bunch of guys. So we've spent enough time on Baggy now. That's enough for you, mate. So Big Les. Sitting at the top, he was pushed down by Mocking Weeks, but now rear wheel 72 then, he's put in a bit of a flyer, 37.7. Someone else driving themselves off track, so I do like Baggy's livery there, the old Speedy Gonzales. I hadn't noticed what that's been up until now, my friend. It's the first time I've properly seen it. Dory then being pushed into 6. Stewie Mac then in the brightest car on the grid, right behind him. Let's flick down to Stewie and have a look at his. He's got every colour of the rainbow on his car. He always does seem to have every colour of the rainbow on his car, as well, does Stewie Mac. So if you watch any of the races he does, his car is the loudest car on the grid every time. He's Australian, so you know we can let him off for that. So Fizz Ruckus, he's not got his fastest lap on screen there. I can see a 39.8. And a little bit of a punch up with Pilgrim Paddy there during quali. That's not going to benefit either of them. Do just have to remember Fizz Ruckus again. I don't know how much racing he has done. He did say he was in novice amateur mode, but he seems to be getting on all right. Just maybe needs to realise this is quali and not the race. But holding 10th spot on the grid at the minute. Tatey Lives then put himself in the pits. Again, no changes going on. Paddy just come out of the pits. No, he hasn't. Someone else. So West Ham Daz just getting a little bit wide then. So quite fresh to a wheel is West Ham Daz. Played on pad for a while and switched to a wheel, so he's still getting used to that, I think, a little bit. Steve Scooby again popped himself into second. Old fiery livery and the big dark smoker smoshed on the side. Cheers, mate. All the boys have got a little dark smoker blim on their car somewhere or other. Except Potter Pop, who's taking the mick a little bit. Look, blam! But fair play, is a good friend of mine. So help him push the channel. If you're watching, like, subscribe and all that stuff, blah blah blah. If you fancy getting involved, I'll put links to the P1 Facebook group in the description below. Go hook up with them and get some racing on. Bottom at Pot then sticking himself in the pits. Is he just going to come out with... Yep, so he's not refueling, he's down to less than a quarter of a tank. Why did it switch off Bottom at Pot? So he's got less than a quarter of a tank in, fresh set of super softs. He'll be looking to push that little Toyota to its maximum to get the most out of it. Not this lap, obviously, as it's an out lap. Do it, CJ, do it. We can have a standoff in different garages, even though it'll be a different time, because you'll be with the Ginettas, we'll be with the GT3s. But yeah, do it, man. We'll see if we can, if you get yourself in, give us a shout, we'll hook up. So that's now enough Pot at Pot. I'm fed up looking at him myself. Mockingweeks still with that 37.7. He has bettered his first 37.7. Again, Steve Scooby in the pits doing nothing. Rear wheel down in third now. But he's not long come out of the pits. He's been chucking a couple of good ones as rear wheel. Chuck himself at the front of the pack. He's only in third now, but he has had. He wasn't top of the. Sorry, he was second. Evening, champ. Why are you stream? Why are you talking to me on the stream and not in this lobby racing? For starters, Unbeatable. How you doing, mate? These guys you're watching on screen, I know you were saying you haven't got Facebook, but these guys you're watching on screen have got PlayStation groups and stuff. It's P1. I'll have to find the link and get that over to you, buddy. But they have got PlayStation groups that you can go and chat with them with, and find out what racing's going on rather than using Facebook, being as you don't use it. This man here is the man you want to talk to, Baggy Snails, head honcho of P1RC, P1 Race Community. He's got Speedy Gonzalez livery on his car. So place is not really moving about. Dory's still in 6th place. Don Dotter in 7th. Potter has been pushed back to 8th. Yeah, I'm alright, Unbeatable. I'm alright, mate. Yeah, no problem. That's no problem. And yes, CJ, I will be wearing my shirt and I will be wearing my hoodie. And even though we won the tickets by next gen, I'm going to wear my MRC stuff. Shh, don't tell anyone. Fizz Ruckers has put himself up a spot. He's up into 9th then. So getting better than Fizz Ruckers. 39.0, his fastest lap now. West Ham Daz as well, he's popped himself up into 10th and he's just popped himself into the wall. He's on a 39.2. Tatey Lives, what's his fastest on there? 39.486. That's his fastest on there. Paddy then, that last lap, 40.0. Up into 12th then for Pilgrim Paddy. Stewie Mac, looks like he's been out and back in. So again, no hot laps for Stewie. Steve Scooby again. Blammed a fast one in 37.6 now for Steve. Oh, that's a shame, Champ. Would have been nice to get more people in the lobby. Dory, evening mate, how you doing? Stop chatting while you're in the pits. Get your tyres on, get some more fuel in. Get out. Messing about. There's too many of you lot chat while you're racing, it can't be good. So mockingweeks 37.7 has now been topped by Steve Scooby's. Rear wheel 72 still holding that third. Lescon still in fourth. Maggie Snails holding that fifth. Dory also in the pits, chatting to me on the stream when he should be. Potter McPott has jumped up a spot, he's into seventh then, 37.9 for Potter. Don Dotter just coming out of the pits, 38.000. You don't see that very often, Don Dotter. So 8th place for Don. Fizz Rucker still 9th. Last lap 38.9, so getting quicker. Again, West Ham Daz in the pits. Tatey lives 11th still. Stewie Mac has jumped into 12th place then with 39.9 for Stewie. And just pushes Pilgrim back to last place with that 40.0. But not a lot in it. Good clean lap from Pilgrim. He is on fresh rubber as well, quarter of a tank. Let's just have a look at his sector times. Flash of the lights from Pilgrim. I was watching his lights, not the times. And then runs himself off the track. So that's going to be that lap ruined. Mockingweeks now taking top spot back off Steve Scooby, 37.5 then for Mocking. A second over Steve Scooby's last fastest. So giving rear wheel 72 a bit of a tow. So let's just jump on board with the rear wheel, keep an eye on his, he is down on his times at the minute, so that's get a good run with Steve Scooby's toe, but obviously not. So Big Les then back out the pits, quarter of a tank, fresh rubber. Baggy, you should also be racing and not chatting to me. Stop messing about in the pits, you lot, and get on track. Car's on fire. Bags, you got to move, your car's on fire, mate. That's what happens when you sit in the pits too long, chatting to me. Let's see if Steve Scooby's car's on fire. Steve Scooby's car's on fire as well. Oh my god. So let's... we can't go on board with these cars, but we'll have a roof view on Mockingweeks. So onto the start-finish straight then. Crossing the line. Around this long right-hander. Just tighten slightly at this end. Through these sweeping left-right curves. Down hard into this one. And this is where the track changes. So this is the Miyabi layout. The Miyabi and Yamajiwa layout turns left just before it comes back onto that start-finish straight. It goes back up the hill. There's a whole massive section, bigger than this track itself. A whole another section to race around as well. Good track, I do like it. Potter McPot then jumped up to second, so 37.6 for Potter McPot out of nowhere. So that's good enough for second for Potter. 5 minutes left of quali. Just getting a little bit of a nudge off Big Les by the look of it. Again using Don Dotter for a bit of a tow down the start-finish straight. Just runs himself a little bit wide onto the rubber, but he's going to get a good run out the corner. I've just remembered which that corner is. Viali. That's all I'm going to say about that. CJW will understand. Let's switch up this view then. So jump to the front man, mockingweeks. Let's work through some fastest laps now. So mockingweeks is holding fastest lap in quali at the minute with 37.5. Potter McPot then 37.6 for him. Steve Scooby 37.6. Wheel 72, his fastest lap not on there, so it's going to be a 37.7 for rear wheel. In fourth place, Big Les right behind him as well. His fastest lap not on there as well. Probably a 470. Yeah, probably a 47.7 as well for Big Les. Maggie Snails again, his not on there. I'm going to say he's a 47.8. 37.8. I don't know. Don Dotter 37.8. Dory. His fastest lap not on there, but let's see a 38.4. Stewie Mack then up into 9th with 38.5. Fizz Ruckus being pushed back a spot. So 38.9 still for Fizz Ruckus. West Ham Daz still in the pits. Tatey Liv still in 12th. Pilgrim Paddy better in his time. 39.5 for Pilgrim. Was a 40.2 prior to that. So just 2 and a bit minutes left of this quali. Still time for the guys to put in a few laps. As you can see, with 37-second, 38-second laps, it's not taking very long at all. Big Les Cunden, he's put in a Stormer, 37.3 for Big Les. So again, fresh rubber. He's got about an 1/8 of a tank of fuel. So a good drive there from Big Les. He's been challenging pretty much most of the night. He's been chucking himself up into that front few places. And then just putting a Stormer for that first place. So Potter McPot then back up into second after being pushed down a bit. Don Dotter now, he's up into third with a 37.4. Right in the 11th hour of the quali. So Mockingweeks back down in fourth then. Steve Scooby in 5th, rear wheel 72, so he's going for another quick fly up. Just staying out of the way again. Baggy Snails in 7th. Dory just parked at the side of the track in 8th. Stewie Mack in 9th. He has just made a place up over Fizz Ruckus. Still Daz in the pits, and Tatey and Pilgrim still in the same positions. Big Les Cullen now in the pits, just coming out, so again probably looking to try and increase that gap between himself and Potter. Potter now, he's got 0.5 of a second penalty, so that's going to compromise his lap. Only 30 seconds left to quali, so it's now or never for the guys. A few guys parked up at the side of the track. Paddy parking inside 3 other cars. Stewie Mack and Big Les Kun still fighting out a little bit. So yeah, Bags has started the final. So here we go, round, oh, Big Les Kun getting a bit of a punt then. We're not playing rally now, Stewie Mack. So round 9 of the P1 Toyota Concept Cup. We are live from Kyoto Driving Park. This is the Miyabi layout, the short course. So Big Les in first, Potter in second, Don in third, Mocking in fourth, Steve Scooby in fifth, Rewheel in sixth, Baggy in seventh, Dory in eighth, Stewie Mack in ninth, Fizz Ruckus in 10th, West Ham Daz in 11th, Tatey Lives in 12th, and Pilgrim Paddy in 13th. So the lights are on with Big Les Kun, and they're away. So a bit of a bog down for Big Les Kun. Potter's got a good start. Don Dotter's in there as well, right behind him. Mocking Weeks going for a look down the inside of Steve Scooby into the first corner. A little bit too far back. Snails just running wide there, trying for a bit of a sneak move around the outside of rear wheel 72. So rear wheel giving him plenty of room there, maybe a little bit too much, losing a bit of time and positions then. So down to 9th then for rear wheel. It's all kicking off. Let me just jump to the front, so keep an eye on Big Les Kun then. He's kept that top spot. Don Dotter's now into second, got past Potter and Pop. And Stewie Mack, he's looking for a move on Big Les as well into the first corner. So Potter and Pot into third. Steve Scooby right behind him in fourth. Mocking Weeks looking dangerous down the inside in fifth. So he has taken that place off Steve Scooby into fourth then for Mocking. Steve Scooby down into fifth then. Baggy Snails just half a second back, and he's got Dory and Stewie Mack. Oh, Stewie Mack's just run himself a bit wide, so let me flick off Stewie Mack because he does seem to do that every time I flick a camera on him. So he's losing a few places then. Rear wheel 72, then after his little incident he's down into 8th. Stewie Mack 9th, have to just quickly flick off him so he doesn't crash again. Tatey Lives into 10th then. Fizz Ruckus in 11th, West Ham Daz in 12th, and Pilgrim Paddy in 13th. That was a chaotic first lap, if ever I've seen. Oh, we're on lap 3, flipping it, that's how much it's been kicking off. Big Les and Don Dotter still at it. So I'm gonna have to give it some of that, because it just looks so good for these cars chasing down. Don Dotter then chasing down Big Les. He's got Potter McPot giving him some serious pressure. All the boys rocking a little darksmoka sticker on their car. So Don Dotter going for a move. Mocking Weeks going for a move on Potter McPot. So Don Dotter got that place done. Potter's ran himself a little bit wide. Mocking Weeks has got the place. Potter's looking for the switch back though. He's got the inside line. So side by side coming through over the hill. Mocking will have the inside line for this corner, but then Potter this one and the next one. So good move from Potter. He knew his lines. He's up into third, then Potter. And just behind him, Steve Scooby now looking dangerous on the back of Mocking Weeks. But Mocking Weeks is still right on the back of Potter McPot. Baggy Snails has closed the gap on this fight as well. Just a little bit of a gap back to Dory, half a second, and then the spaces start to stretch out a little bit, so we know rear wheel had a bit of a moment. First couple of laps that dropped it down a bit. West Ham Daz, Fizz Ruckus and Tatey Lives in a bit of a punch up at the minute. Pilgrim Paddy's not far off the back of this little fight as well. So West Ham Daz just going for an inside move on Fizz Ruckus. Just having to back out of it there then West Ham Daz, for fear of causing chaos. Tatey Lives going for a look down the inside of West Ham Daz though. Don Dotter is up into first place, taking that spot off of Big Les Kun. Big Les Kun is looking dangerous around this long right-hander. This pair have dropped off Potter McPot and Mocking Weeks a little bit. Scooby still in fifth. He's still got Baggy Snails right behind him, and Dory giving Bag some serious pressure. And rear wheel 72 then slowly catching up on the back of this lot. He's been putting in some good laps in quali, so don't be surprised if you start seeing him pushing his way through up towards the front. Ruckus then keep hold, so that's 9th place. He stays in front of West Ham Daz and Tatey Lives. And as I say, Pilgrim Paddy now closing in on the back of this pack. Stewie Mac, we saw him drive off track, so he's down into 13th then. So back up to the fight at the front. Don Dotter still holding that top spot. Big Les Kun still chasing him down. Potter Potts closed the gap down on him. Mocking Weeks is still in 4th. Again, so tight these races. Steve Scooby still with them. Don't even know if I've got time to look at gaps. 0.2 of a second, 0.2 of a second, 0.2 of a second, flipping 0.4 of a second, flipping, cool blimey. I think Dawley's just run himself a little bit wide there. That's allowed Rear Wheel to catch up. It just dropped off the back of Baggy Snails as well, so it gives him a bit of breathing room. Allows him to concentrate on getting on the back of Steve Scooby again. So using all the track there, Baggy, as Dory just runs himself wide. So Rear Wheel, I thought Rear Wheel was going to make moves on him then, but Dory just managed to keep his foot in and not lose that place to Rear Wheel. So back up to the front for the fight. Don Dotter still holding that top spot. Big Les Kun, Mocking Weeks now past Potter McPot. Into 3rd then for Mocking. Potter McPot in 4th. Steve Scooby still in 5th. Baggy Snails closing that gap. They have just dropped off Don Dotter a little bit. Almost a second, but the gap coming down between those pair. The Rear Wheel still in this fight as well. So most of the guys out on super softs. So West Ham Daz now out of the front. He's into 9th, then got past Fizz Ruckus. Oh, he can make a bit of time on him as well, so I don't know if Fizz Ruckus has had a bit of a moment. 2.5 back then this fight for 10th. So that's Fizz Ruckus, Tatey Lives and Pilgrim Paddy all fighting for this 10th spot. Right on Stewie Mac, so he's 5 seconds back at the minute. We'll see if he can close in the gap. We'll see if he can catch up to the back of that little fight. So Don Dotter then still holding top spot. Big Les Cullen literally pushing him down the track, literally just staying behind him. This is a good move from Big Les the other week. He just held his nerve until the last couple of laps. Still in 3rd, so Potter McPot looks like he drove himself a little bit wide there. Steve Scooby up into 4th then. Potter McPot losing a couple of spots here and there over the last few laps. Looking for a move down the outside of Steve Scooby and Mocking Weeks then, Potter McPot. So he took a good line through there, a little bit of contact between the guys. I wouldn't say that was too drastic, that was both guys kept it on track. Unfortunately for Steve Scooby, it has pushed him way down into 7th then. He did compromise his exit into one of the, exit out of one of the corners. But, nothing malicious, I don't think. I think it was just a bit of a racing nudge. So Rear Wheel then, so he's lost a bit of time to this fight. You just see him running himself wide onto the grass. West Ham Daz, so holding that 9th spot pretty comfortably then. So let's just get back on board with Stewie Mac. So yeah, he's right back on the fight then, 1.2 seconds. Second now, that gap coming down massively. So it goes for a move down the inside of Pilgrim Paddy. Bit of a nudge for Pilgrim, but he's got that spot by the look of it, unless Pilgrim Paddy gets him on this chicane. No, so he's kept that place then, Stewie. So he's looking for a move down the middle of these pair. He's got the run through the corner and down the straight. So straight back up into 10th then for Stewie. Don't run yourself wide. He's under a bit of pressure from Fizz Ruckus behind him, but managing to keep that place then. Stewie Mac up into 10th. Pilgrim Paddy then, now that I'm down at the back of the pack, losing a bit of time to Stewie Mac and Fizz Ruckus. I didn't quite realise Tatey Lives was quite so close next door to him. So still a good fight at the front. Don Dotter still holding that top spot. Big Les Kun just, I think I know what he's doing. Just taking his time to the last few laps. So mockingweeks still in this fight. He's in 3rd spot. So now the front guys have got to get past the back markers without causing any chaos. Or the back markers have got to do the same thing. So Potter McPot back up into 4th. Dory in 5th. Baggy Snails in 6th. Steve Scooby in 7th after his little incident with Potter McPot. He's closing the gap on Baggy though. Rear wheel again, running himself wide on that corner. Daz, he's losing a bit of time to these guys at the front, but he's holding 9th quite comfortably. 7.2 seconds back to Fizz Ruckus, who's now got back past Stewie Max. So it looks like Stewie Max had a bit of an incident. You just see him on the grass, maybe just trying to stay out of the way of the faster drivers. Compromised his lap, or got a corner wrong, so maybe. Down into 12th then for Stewie. So where's that gone? Where's that gone? Steve Scooby, yes, I thought I saw him go for a move on Baggy Snails, so taking that place up into 6th. Baggy, that was a bit naughty, I've got to say that. Cut the corner. You lot can have that out after the race. So position still kind of staying where they are. Potter McPot then, I think Potter has, where's he gone? Been in the pits, so half a tank of fuel, fresh set of racing super softs. So we'll see how that benefits him. All the guys in front of him haven't pit at the minute. So that might just play into Potter McPot's hands. He's only 7 seconds back from the guys up front. They are short laps, but I think he's played his cards pretty good there as Potter McPot. Don Dotter still under some pressure from Big Les. Just making a bit of a move, extending that gap over Mockingweeks. Mockingweeks just closing him straight back down then through there. And now they've got to get past Fizz Ruckus without causing chaos. Fizz Ruckus got to try and keep himself on track without causing chaos. Respectfully stays over to the right there, lets the guys through. Mockingweeks not quite managing to get past him before the corner. Now switches back down the inside. So all 3 guys get past Fizz Ruckus cleanly. Potter McPot then up into 4th, getting past Baggy Snails. Baggy's been in the pits. No apologies, no, Baggy hasn't been in the pits, so yeah, getting past Baggy Snails then. Potter McPot up into 4th, only 6 seconds back from top spot. I don't know how long pit times are. Not very long, I wouldn't have thought. Let's have a look. What time did Potter come in? So 5 seconds then, really. 38 being his sort of average lap time, and 43 on his pit lap, so 5 second pits. He'll be right back in the fight when the other guys come in. Stewie Mac again just running himself off track a little bit there. Hope that doesn't compromise Potter McPot. No, it looks like he got through pretty cleanly. So Don Dotter, Big Les and Mockingweeks still out on those worn tyres. Potter McPot 5 seconds back with a 5 second pit window. Mockingweeks looking for a little move on Big Les. Just showing his nose. So tight, close racing between these guys. Different lines through there, so Big Les possibly compromised. He has got a better line through this corner. I keep forgetting it's the Miyabi layout. Expected him to do a hard left through that chicane. So Big Les Kun now got past Don Dotter, but he's just run himself wide. Don Dotter's side by side with him through this corner. A slightly better run. He's got the outside line for the next corner, runs himself wide. I think mockingweeks is going to get through there. No, not quite, but he has got a good line out as Mocking. He's looking for an inside move. Again, keeping it clean. Side by side still, really. Mocking just having to relinquish that place back to Don Dotter. So, you would expect some contact, but both guys keeping it clean. They were side by side through about 3 corners there. That's just allowed Big Les Kun to extend that gap. 1.1 seconds. Slipstream is on strong, so the guys will catch up. Oh, mockingweeks then just running himself wide into the wall. That's going to entice Potter McPot to push a bit harder. He's only 3.4 seconds back from the guys at the front then. He could. He could have played a blinder here, Potter. He's holding similar fuel but on better tyres, so he's almost got, not a pit stop in hand, but he's pushed himself up the pack. If he can catch up with these two. He's up into third then, Potter. Evening, Delhi B. How you doing, brother? Long time no see. You in the GTTCCs, my friend? Obviously not in my category because you're too bloody good. Still a good punch up at the front. Big Les Kun holding the top spot. Don Dotter though still pressuring him. Potter McPot closing that gap, 3 seconds behind Don Dotter. Dory up into fourth then, so positions have shifted about a little bit through the pit window. mockingweeks down in fifth, looking to catch back up to the guys at the front. Don Dotter and Big Les Kun have not pit at the minute. Baggy Snails has been in the pits, still holding sixth then, Baggy. How far is he back? 19 seconds, so he might make 1 or 2 places. He might make 1 or 2 places up if Dory comes in. So Big Les Kun and Don Dotter in the pits then. Potter McPot up into first place. So looking to make a bit of a gap on these boys while they're in the pits. 6.8 seconds. Dory's also pit as well, so very similar situation to Potter. Tyres about Potter's tyres a little bit more worn than Dory's, but he's got a 6.9 second gap over him. So yeah, mockingweeks back up into third then through that pit window by Big Les and Don Dotter, still having a bit of a. Oh no, so there's a bit of a gap. Sorry, I thought that was Don Dotter next to him, but it wasn't. It was Stewie Mack. So Big Les Kun then, he's out way in front of Don Dotter. I do believe he has. I thought he'd under fueled, but they're both carrying very similar fuel. So Big Les into fourth, then Don Dotter, as I say, 2 seconds down the road from Big Les now. They were bumper to bumper a minute ago. Baggy Snails 4 seconds back from this fight. Oh, okay. Well, give up fishing and get back into the racing. Stop messing about. So Steve Scooby, he is back in the fight with Baggy Snails. He'll be a bit cross with Steve Scooby. He was doing alright at the front of the pack, got into a bit of a tumble with Potter McPot. Nothing too dramatic. Nothing I would have said warranted giving the place back. But yes, that pushed him down the pack a bit, and he's having to fight his way back through. Didn't give Potter McPot a bit of a flash of his lights afterwards, but like I say, it wasn't too dramatic. Real Wheel 72 then looking for a move on Steve Scooby. So he has looked a bit of a danger all race, has Rear Wheel, but he's compromised his own laps out some of the corners. I think we've seen him a few corners coming out wide onto the grass, compromising his lap. I think that's just kept him in 8th place really. Fitzruckus then still holding that 9th. Stewie Mack then back out of the pits, he's back up into 10th then, got back past West Ham Daz and Tatey Lives. Pigwood Paddy He smashed them down the middle, down the start-finish straight. So Potomac Pot still holding that top spot, losing time now to mockingweeks. 5.6 seconds the gap. Dory just been overtaken by mockingweeks as well. We know mockingweeks has got better tyres. We'll have to be in pits, bit of glitching, don't know what's going on there. So Dory's about out of fuel. If that's the case, then Potter's pretty much out of fuel. Drifting the rear of that Toyota as well. So Potter decided to stay out and get one more lap out of this. But he is losing time every lap. 4.9 now the gap. So he's going to come right back out in the thick of it. Dory as well staying out. Big Les Kun right on the back of him though. So Potomac Pot will probably come out somewhere pretty much right next to Big Les Kun, I think. In between him and Dory anyway. Don Dotter, sorry. Dory will have to pit, so Dory is in the pits, Potomac Pot is in the pits, Big Les Kun and Don Dotter, I think they do drive past. It is weird sometimes how this Gran Turismo releases people from the pits. So yes, he did say 7th, so he is in 4th, just losing a place to Baggy Snails, down in 5th then. Baggy Snails not long been in the pits, so under some pressure from Potomac Pot. As soon as he comes out the pits, Potomac Pot's on it, so is he side by side? Just a little bit of car's width through there. And Potomac Pot straight into the slipstream. Again, just looking for every opportunity he can. Take that place off Baggy Snails and work his way back up to the fight at the front. 20 minutes into this half-an-hour race. mockingweeks then storming away at the front, second gap over Big Les. Gap coming down though, Big Les has closed that gap massively. Don Dotter's lost a bit more time, 3.1 seconds back to Don Dotter, to Big Les. So Potomac Pot then getting past Baggy Snails pretty cleanly through there, looks like it. 72, then he's pushed himself up into 6th. Also Dory's in the wall, I don't know what's happened there. He's got a little bit of front end damage, so that's going to compromise him as well. Pilgrim Paddy's left the room, that's a shame. So obviously not having a good race. Steve Scooby then down into 8th place. Looking for a move on Fizz Ruckus. It's not in position, so easily done for Steve Scooby. Stubby Mac then up into 9th, Fizz Ruckus 10th. Is he chasing down? That was not for position, was it? So West Ham Daz in 11th. Tatey Lives down in 12th, and as I say, Pilgrim Paddy just left the room. It's a bit of a shame, so mockingweeks then now out front. Still holding that half-second gap over Big Les. Don Dotter's closing back up on him, 2.6 now the gap. Don't discount Potomac Pot, he's just coming fresh rubber. He's probably got enough fuel to go to the end of the race, as has the other guys, but he will have the better tyres. How far back's Potter? 11.7. Could be doable, but he'd have to put in quali laps every lap, I think. He's made a fair old gap over Baggy Snails, 2.5 now the gap. Rear wheel 72 chasing down Baggy Snails pretty damn closely. Just 0.3 of a second. Baggy going a little bit defensive through there. Staying pretty consistent. Dory then, we just saw him spinning off track into the wall, so down into 7th there for Dory. Scooby down in 8th. Stewie Mack having a bit of a race all of his own, big gaps either side of him. Fizz Ruckus just staying out of the way. 10th place. He's had a half decent race. Might not be the best position in the world, but kept him pretty clean. I've not seen him spinning off track too much. So just 5.5 minutes left of this race. Tatey Lives chasing down Fizz Ruckus, then looking to get that place off him before the end of the race. They've had a good little battle at the back. It's a shame Pilgrim Paddy's left the room. West Ham Daz, Pilgrim Paddy, Tatey Lives and Fizz Ruckus have had a little sort of race all at their own at the back. Stewie Mack is well involved in that, but he's now quite a way up the road. Where's he gone? So 17 seconds up the road from the fight between the boys at the back. West Ham Daz, unfortunately, sitting in 12th place, 8 seconds back from the guys in front. Looking to get back into the punch-up with those two. Gap coming down. We'll have to keep our eye on that before the end of the race, see if we can make any place. He's got a 7-second gap, so it's not looking good for him. So Big Les Kun now has stormed onto the back of Mockingweeks. Dotter's lost more time to this pack. So this looks like where the action is. Bumper to bumper action between Mockingweeks and Big Les Kun. Big Les Kun getting a move down the inside. Mockingweeks taking the wider line, just managing to keep a bit more speed through there than Big Les. Big Les now needs to do everything he can to get past Mockingweeks. This is what he did last week in the Toyotas at Blue Moon. He stuck himself in second. He could have overtaken at any point down the start-finish straight at Blue Moon. Just kept himself in second. About the last 2, 3, 4 laps, just decided, you know what, enough's enough, and off he went. And when I say off he went, off he went. So yeah, Big Les Kun, then you saw him just dab his brake before coming through there. Sneaky, sneaky Big Les. So maybe he just knows where he's going to pick his moment. Mockingweeks to make a mistake. It's been pretty clean racing tonight. There's been 1 or 2 little incidents. Always is when there's racing. So let's go on board with Mocking and see what it looks like. Big Les Kun then. See Big Les Kun speed through there. Right on him. Side by side through here. I'm going to let me turn the camera sideways. What's wrong with you, game? Bumper to bumper action. So different lines through here. So Mockingweeks taking the tight line, keeping it defensive. Big Les Kun nice and wide. Mockingweeks just managing to keep that gap again. I don't know if Big Les Kun is just backing out a little bit. Mockingweeks running himself a little bit wide, keeping the faster pace, I think, through the outside. Oh, Big Les Kun, he has got a good move through there. Again, he's just had to let off and allow Mockingweeks to keep that place. Now again dives down the inside, and he will have the inside for the next corner. So now possibly now he's making his move. So up into first spot then for Big Les. Don Dotter's right back in this fight as well. So going to be an awesome battle right to the end. Les Kun instantly going over to the right, defensive, not allowing Mockingweeks to slip down the inside. Mockingweeks got to be careful. Don Dotter will make a move on him at any point. So right back in the slipstream with Big Les, looking to break the gap between himself and Don Dotter, but Don Dotter's far too close to be letting go of now. So a 3-way fight for first then at the last few laps. Big Les Kun, as I say, I thought he would do that. Just hold it off till the end. Just compromise a little bit there coming out. So now Mockingweeks to push. It's got to go a little bit defensive though because of Don Dotter. Don Dotter's looking for a move down the inside of both of them. Not quite getting it done, but he does take a place off Mockingweeks. So up into second, he has got a good run on Big Les as well. Big Les has got to move. Mockingweeks going for a lunge. looking to get that place back off Mocking Weeks, not quite making it. Dotter will have the inside line for this next corner. Mocking Weeks pushing in, might make for a move around the outside. Almost side by side still through there. Mocking Weeks straight back in the slipstream. That's allowing Big Les to just tear off up the road again like he did last week. So 1.5 seconds up the road then, Big Les. The fight between Don Dotter and Mocking Weeks. Don Dotter past Mocking Weeks now. So they are closing back on Big Les. Oh, Mocking Weeks just running a bit wide. That's going to compromise his lap and lose him time to Don Dotter. So second gap's built up between these three. Weeks losing a bit more time. Don Dotter gaining on Big Les. So this will be last lap. Timer has counted over. Final lap appears on the screen. Potter and Potts crossed the line in 4th. Baggy Snails has crossed the line in 5th. Nobody else come across the line yet. So Big Les Kun. Mocking Weeks has dropped massively off the back of Don Dotter. So rear wheel in 6th. Dory in 7th. So we watch Big Les Kun. He's put under some serious pressure by Don Dotter right at the end there. So Big Les Kun. Good race by Big Les in 1st. Don Dotter. Why can't I say your name right tonight? Don Dotter. Again. Don Dotter in 2nd. And Mocking Weeks in 3rd. Potter McPot in 4th. Baggy Snails in 5th. I don't know after that. I will tell you in 1 second. Blammo. There you go. Baggy Snails in 5th. Rear Wheel 72 in 6th. Dory in 7th. Steve Scooby in 8th. Stewie Mack in 9th. Fizz Ruckus in 10th. West Ham Daz in 11th. Tatey lives in 12th. Pilgrim Paddy did leave the room, so he would have been 13th, but not here unfortunately. Big Les Kun there with the fastest lap, 37.3. And he, like I say, he did play the blinder at the end like he did last week. So some real good strategy there from Big Les. Let's just give the old congratulations. Dum, 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 Big Les. But where's he gone? There. And one of them. And one of them. And one of them. And one of them. Let's give him one of them. I won't get. I wanted to give him a gajillion of them, but they can just have one. So another good race by the P1 boys. Cheers, buddy. VPN, evening, my friend. Unbeatable. Cheers, mate. It was some great racing. That's what I mean. So you should get hold of these boys and get involved in some of this chaos. It's great. It was so chaotic at the start. It's mental. It's mental. It's such close racing. It's great. How you doing, VPN? All right, mate. Whoa. So that will be pretty much another stream done. So that's round 9 of P1 Toyota Concept Cup. There is one more round left. So what are we there today? Thursday. So I'm back Sunday night for P1 Nissan GR2 leagues, and then Monday night for Chloe Hewitt Mini Cup with NGR, and then back Wednesday for the NGR versus P1 versus MRV versus SimFX Team versus Team GR3 event. And then Friday next week, that's when Sweary time comes back, because that's when I actually get behind the wheel and race in the MRC GTTCCs. So if you've listened to the commentary, you'll know there's very, very little curse words, etc. I'll try and keep it a little bit more professional for this. But the real me comes out when I'm behind the wheel, and there'll be all sorts. So just be prepared if you do tune in next Friday. It might start off all pleasant like this, but it won't last for long. I'll tell you that now. But I do appreciate you all stopping by. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us all that sort of stuff. Tell your mates, tell your mum, stuff. But yeah, this is the P1 boys. Get yourself involved. I will put a link in the description below to the Facebook page. I know Unbeatable. I know you haven't got it. I've told you they've got PlayStation groups. I'll let Baggy Snails know that you want in. I'll see if I can add you to one of their PlayStation groups or something, or get him to add you. But I'll hook you up, brother. I'll hook you up. What do you mean, see if you're capable? Just get on track and drive, fool. It's 2 pedals. Stop and a go pedal. Don't crash into people. Cheers, VPN. Thank you very much, buddy. So I am going to chop this stream off. I've told you what's coming up in the next week. Mostly not swearing, and then next Friday swearing. Yeah, that's about it. My name's darksmoka. I'm out of here.